Today I decided to showcase the new full power Solfachord deck in Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Okay, that is the Solfachord deck that I'm gonna be playing, and this is absolutely peak full power deck. This is exactly how you should play it, card by card. I don't think you should switch anything from here. Now, as of the ratios, I played 3 copies of QTA. This is the best monster you can go for. I also played 3 copies of Dreamia. This is your extender if you control a Solfachord Pendulum monster zone in the Pendulum scale. Then I play 1 copy of Elitia. You don't need more than that. I played 3 copies of Fancia, which you can basically activate and send something to the extra monster zone from your deck, and this is just a good card. It's also a good level 4 body as well. And I played 2 copies of Gracia. Now, one thing I will say is that Gracia can actually be run as a 3 copies of. I don't think you should do that though, because it gets a little bit bricky. But this card essentially allows you to add any Solfachord spell or trap, so you can search out the Elegance and start your place with it, or search out the Musica as an additional interruption, or even go for something like Harmonia if you decide to do so. I then played 2 copies of Angelia. This is actually pretty good because it allows you to pop something and space summon something else from the deck. Now, it's a little bit weird with the effect because you gotta tribute 1 Solfachord Pendulum monster and special summon another monster whose pendulum scales are too high or too lower, so it's not really whatever you want, but it's still fine. And also play 1 copy of Beauty. This is just here for the body. You don't really need more than 1 copy of, and 2 copies of the Coolia. This is absolutely an insane card. Now, this card is also a popping effect, which is really good, and it's a quick play popping effect. It is also a pendulum scale of 1, and you definitely need that, including with the Cutia, but I don't think you should play it as a 3 copies of. 2, it's fine. We then play a small engine with the Harmonizing Magician, with the Purple Poison, and also the Off Dragon. Essentially, when you pendulum summon Harmonizing, you can space summon one of these 2 and go into either Borrowload Savage or the Baronet de Fleur. And you can actually search out the Harmonizing which are beyond the pendulum, which is really great as well. I also played 2 copies of Logat, which is an additional body, and also it allows you to pop any face-up card your opponent controls by just changing something to defense position, which is really great. And the last engine is gonna be the Diviner of the Hero with the Trias Hideracia. Basically, you activate the effect, send the Trias, tribute it, space summon Trias, then activate the effect and space summon a level 1 fairy monster, Cutia, which gets you access to all of your plays. As of the extra deck, I already talked about these 2, so I'm playing the Odai's Vortex and Odai's Absolute Dragon. It comes up every now and then, but it's not that important. 1 copy of IP, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 copy of Appaloosa here, with 1 copy of the Auza and also Win. I do also play the 1 copy of Access Code and Honor World Goddess, which come up every now and then, and 1 copy of Beyond the Pendulum for sure. Now, you could play a 2nd copy of Beyond the Pendulum, but I never actually needed that much, so I don't think you should play it. Just keep in mind that a lot of people actually play it as a 2-off. And I also play 1 copy of the Grand Solfachord Musicia and 2 copies of the Grand Solfachord Coolia. This is an Omni Negate, by the way, and it's ridiculously good, and it also allows you to special summon from your pendulum zone if you've set it there Coolia, which then turns into another negate, which is even better. Now, that was it for the deck list. Now let's get into some gameplay and show you exactly why this deck is absolutely incredible. Alright, so before we get into the actual live games, I want to show you a simple combo that you can do with this deck. Now, I'm gonna normal summon Diviner of the Hero, mill the Trias, then tribute space summon Trias, activate the effect, and as I said, space summon the Cutia, and now Cutia allows me to search out a copy of Gracia. And then I'm gonna activate Elegance here, and by pitching the Gracia to the extra deck, I'm able to set to my pendulum scales Cutia and also the Coolia, which are the best targets because they are scale 1 and 8, and also this card can later be used as an interruption. From here, I'm gonna just link all both of my monsters to go into Beyond the Pendulum, and the reason why we do that is because we want to search out a copy of the Harmonizing Magician, which gets us access to Baron de Fleur. Now we're gonna summon the Gracia and also the Harmonizing. Chainlink 1 Harmonizing, Chainlink 2 Gracia, because Harmonizing is way more important to not get negated. We just chain block it. Now we're searching a Musica, which in that case is gonna be a popping effect as well. And then I'm gonna just go into Baronet de Fleur and gonna use the rest of my monster to summon 3 negates Appaloosa. Now, another thing you could do is, if you have access to 1 more body, instead of going Appaloosa, you need to go into the Link Monster Coolia and also IP. The reason for this is that you will have more interruptions. 1 will be the Baronet de Fleur, 2 will be the IP, 3 will be the Omni Negate off of Coolia. Then I'm gonna be able to space summon the Coolia Pendulum Monster for a 4th negate with the Musica popping effect, that's 5. And also Link summoning into the Appaloosa with the IP, and also this one gives you a total of 7 interruptions. Or you could go for Nightmare Unicorn instead for 6 interruptions, one of which being a pop effect, depending on what you need. But that is essentially the combo, and now I'm gonna move on to the live game so you can see exactly how the deck plays out. Okay, first game of the day, and I'm going 2nd with a kind of a decent hand, I guess. Wow. Okay, what a start. Fine. Okay, now that is another ridiculously good can. Now I am gonna start off by activating the effect of my Elegance, and I'm gonna just choose the 2nd effect, and I'm gonna send to the extra deck my Gracia, which will then let me pendulum scale. Now, typically I kinda wanna go for 1 and 8. I'm not sure if I should even do that. Maybe I should go for something else. We're definitely going for this. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go for this one. I am currently gonna just try it out, see how it goes. Now I could activate Cutia before that, so let's just normal summon Cutia. I'm gonna activate the effect. I'm gonna search out another pendulum monster. And now I'm gonna add a copy of... this thing is probably not that bad. This card, I'm gonna pendulum summon anyways. Yeah, I mean, let's just go for the Dreamia. Yeah, I mean, I don't even need to go into Dreamia. But you know what? No, I actually have an idea. That's actually a good play. Hold on. Now I'm gonna activate Dreamia's effect. And I'm gonna space summon it to the field. And now I can use two of my monsters and just go into Beyond the Pendulum. Add the Harmonizing Magician and just search out a bunch of other negates. So that's actually not a bad idea here. I am actually very much liking this because now I can add the Harmonizing Magician if he doesn't negate it. Okay, it went through and I will add my Harmonizing Magician, and that is basically my favorite small little engine in this deck. Now I'm gonna just Pendulum Summon for 1, 2 from the extra deck and then 2 from the main deck. Not gonna use Maxi, although I would have actually liked to use Maxi just as an additional body, but it's really not worth it. So let's just go Pendulum Summon 4. And then I can Chain Link 1, activate the effect of my Harmonizing because I don't want him to negate it with the Touch Blossom, and Chain Link 2, block it with the Gracia. And of course not gonna change the effect of Beyond the Pendulum. Now I am gonna search out with the Gracia, and typically you wanna go for Elegance or maybe even the Field Spell. But I'm gonna go for Musica just because it's an additional interruption that allows me to pop something. And I'm gonna space summon the Old Dragon Magician here, boom. Now I'm gonna just immediately go into Baronnet de Fleur because I'm scared that he might use Nibiru eventually. And I'm just gonna summon it for some sort of a protection here, boom. Absolutely amazing. Now I'm gonna activate this effect and I'm gonna add one Solfachord monster to the extra deck. Now that's just a small bonus, but I am gonna just add this thing just to have it there. And now I can go and so I could also go into this, and in that case, because it's basically just boring to go into the same stuff over and over again, I'm actually gonna go into a little bit of a different line of play here. I'm gonna go and summon my Kulia, which is gonna be one interruption for my opponent to deal with. And then I'm gonna just go into my IP as my second interruption here. And that's basically another way to just play with your combos. This is just a different form of interruption. And compared to my Appaloosa Baronnet de Fleur combo, this has one popping effect, second negation with the Kulia. Then you can go with the monster that's summoned by Kulia, go into IP, get the Nightmare Unicorn, and also have the Baronnet de Fleur as a non-negate, and also have Music as a popping effect. So this is again 5 interruptions right off the bat here, which is pretty good. And negating my Baronnet de Fleur, that's fine. Do I have any way of stopping this? So I can, once per turn when opponent activates card effect, can space summon one Solfachord monster to its own, discard points, and if you do negate the activation. Wow, okay, wow, this is actually a Omni Negate. Wow, this is so cool. Wait, that might even be better than the Appaloosa. This is an Omni Negate. I am gonna special summon the Kulia. Wow, wait, what? This is amazing. In this beautiful animation, dude, I love it. It's even in the thumbnail. This is so cool. Add the designed card to your extra deck face up. What do you mean? Then you can add one Solfachord Pendulum monster with an even Pendulum skill from your deck to your face up extra monster zone. Okay. Let's just add the Cutia. And now I lost my Musica effect. By the way, I can only activate the second effect, space summon one face-up Solfachord monster. Now activating this effect, and yeah, you know what? I can actually chain my Musica and just pop it. Yeah, that's actually good. I didn't actually shut down my Musica because it doesn't matter if they're in the Pendulum Scales or in the field. I currently have Pendulum Scale of 1, Pendulum Scale of 6, regardless of whether they're in the Pendulum Scales or the Monster Zone. That's good. Now activating the Zexo construction here. Yeah, that is okay completely. And then he can now add something. And adding from deck to hand the Ascendant Sage. Now I'm gonna chain the Maxi immediately before he even summons anything, which is just gonna be absolutely amazing. Okay, space summoning the Sage, and I'm not gonna chain anything now. Space summoning also the Armed Sage, and now I am gonna chain... Maybe I should have just popped the Sage regardless, but it's fine. I'm just gonna chain the IP now. We could go into Appaloosa, but I'm gonna just go into Nightmare Unicorn. I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna... No, actually, you know what? Let's just go into Appaloosa then. We're gonna use this as 3 materials and this as 1, because this is also a destruction effect, because... yeah, I mean, this is also a popping effect, so I'm gonna just allow it to go into Xyz play, and then I'm gonna pop it if he activates the effect, okay? Now using 2 of his monsters, going into the Utopia, and I'm of course gonna... immediately negate it once he goes into anything meaningful. Activating the effect, and as I said, I can just pop it by using this. Add 1 rank up magic now. Yeah, so I could just negate it, or I could just pop it as well. I will just negate and pop it. I mean, it's better to pop it because it's just an Utopia card. He can just rank up or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Just bye-bye. Destroy it. And now he can still resolve the second effect, I guess. Oh, wow. Bro, this deck is absolutely amazing. Solfachords are ridiculously good, dude. I don't even know what to say. I'm very much surprised. Okay, guys, now that is the hand of all time. I'm gonna start off by normal summoning my Cutie, and I'm gonna activate the effect. Hopefully he doesn't ash it, but if he does, it's fine. Okay, he didn't ash it, and now I'm gonna be able to add from deck to hand my Gracia. and that's gonna be absolutely amazing here. I'm gonna set my other Cutia to my pendulum scale, chaining the Thunder Dragon Dark. Okay, I mean, fine, whatever. Yup, okay. And I'll be able now to space summon my Dreamia because I have a monster in my pendulum scale here. Space summoning the Dreamia, and I can use the effect, go into Beyond the Pendulum or go into this as well. No, actually that doesn't do anything, so let's just go into Beyond the Pendulum. And I'm gonna add from my deck to my hand another monster. Now, unfortunately for me, there is no way to pendulum summon Gracia before going into anything else. So that is why I'm just gonna go into Kulia. I mean, typically you wanna add the Elegance with the Gracia, but I cannot do that because, you know, I already have stuff going on. Now I will pendulum summon for 4, 1 from the extra deck, 3 from the main deck. Absolutely amazing. Summoning this and then summoning these 3, and then I'll be able to actually activate both of the effects of Harmonizing and also the Gracia. And I will actually chain block my Harmonizing with the Gracia because I want to have a guaranteed chance of going into Bornée de Fleur. Now I'm gonna add again the Musica, and I know guys that I do this every single time, but listen, this is the best way to go for it. Elegance is good to set up your place, but if you're already having your place on the field, you don't need that necessarily, so Musica is gonna be always better to go for. And now with the Harmonizing, space summoning the old Dragon Magician, yup. And now I can activate even this effect and send to my extra deck the 1 copy of Angelia here, boom. Now I can even go and summon my Bornée de Fleur to start my plays with. And also there is actually a pretty great way to make use of all of these different types of monsters, but I don't play this type of engine in this deck, and that might be a good idea for a second video. Now I can even use 3 of my monsters again to go into this play. I mean, it's just the same place over and over again. Like, what do you expect? This is just a deck that goes over and over again into the same place because these are just the best ones to go for, really. Okay, I was just about to misplay. Now let's go and summon my IP using these 2, and that is gonna be my complete board, the same board that I did previously. But dude, this is just absolutely amazing of a board. 1 Omni Negate, 1 Omni Negate as well, IP for a popping effect, eventually Musica for a popping effect. Okay, activating the Goat Sarcophagus, and that is a way to start his plays. So I think it's a good idea to just negate it with the Kulia because that will definitely limit his plays quite a bit, you know. Okay, chaining the Emergency Teleport to special summon. I will not do anything about it, go ahead, do that. Okay, summoning the Xiamen, and now I'm gonna special summon this monster to my field in attack mode and negate the Goat Sarcophagus. And now I am gonna use IP immediately, and I just figured out a way to so yes, I'm gonna add something to the extra deck. I'm gonna go for this thing. And now I actually figured out a really good way to make use of IP immediately. I'm gonna activate it and I'm gonna go into Appaloosa for 2 Interruptions Appaloosa. And I'm gonna basically use my Kulia as 3 materials and also IP as 1 more. And this is actually a really good way to use IP for something other than Unicorn also, which is kind of cool. 5 negates board turned into 7 negates, and with the Kulia into 8 negates. This is just insane. This is basically 8 interruptions board, by the way. Yeah, this is definitely absolutely incredible. Activating the effect of the Ogre Dance now. Yeah, he can just add whatever he wants. I am gonna negate that though, because he can go and add the, what was the name of it? The Foxy Tune. Now he really just relies on the Xiamen effect or whatever he normal summons. Normal summoning Fairy Tail Snow, activating the effect. Okay, fine. I mean, I am gonna just activate my Kulia here. I'm gonna just negate it. Shortly afterwards, I'm gonna activate my Musica. You know what? I'm gonna actually activate Musica in the same chain here. And I'm gonna choose the 3rd effect to pop the Xiamen before he even gets to activate the effect. And that should be enough to completely turn off all of his plays. If he's able to do anything else, I do have the Bornée de Fleur as well though, so this is absolutely ridiculously good. Oh no, wait, what? No, yeah, Fairy Tail Snow, actually, no, this pops, it doesn't negate. Yeah, well, that was a small misplay, but he actually banished his whole hand just to space summon back the Snow. And he has Dark though, which is a little bit unfortunate. And this is, yeah, he's gonna be able to flip something face down. Okay, so I completely misplayed. I should have just negated with the Bornée de Fleur, the Fairy Tail Snow. I misplayed a little bit. Adding the Dragon Hawk, and now he's gonna be able to go into some place. Yep, activating the effect. Where is he gonna space summon though? He can only space summon 1 Dark here. Yeah, this is only gonna be able to go into, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Now going into the Colossus here, that is really not what I'd like to see, but yeah. And proceeding to the battle phase now, and by the way, he actually managed to break a 8 interruptions board here, which is really cool. Now I did misplay a little bit, but still, this is really, really exceptionally good. Now proceeding to game phase, I don't know why he didn't get rid of my Bornée de Fleur. Now I can just flip it face up, right? I mean, is anything stopping me from just flipping it face up? Dude, why didn't you deal with that first? This was so weird. Now I am gonna activate the I'm gonna target the Colossus, and if he decides to protect it, that's fine with me. Of course, he can just go ahead and do that. Now activating the effect of Dragon Dark, and I could just use my Omni Negate on it just because it's gonna be really annoying if he searches out something else. I cannot deal with the Colossus anyways, but I am gonna be able to go into Fairy Tail Snow attacking it. And unfortunately, I bricked and drew the Loget. I had like 20 trillion draws that could have gotten me anything better than that, but I just drew the Loget, which is really annoying. Now, really just hoping on the mills, and he milled horribly. Okay, proceeding to game phase, not able to deal with my Baronetta Fleur again. And that is what I'm talking about now. That is actually a good one. Now let's activate effect my Baronetta Fleur, and I'm gonna use up the last protection from Colossus. Yep, okay, fine. And now I will just normal summon Diviner of the Herald and win the game from here. I'm gonna be able to go into Trias Hideracia, and that just opens a whole bunch of plays for me. Now I can act Loget's effect as well, which is even better. Let's just pay summon my Loget here. Beautiful, beautiful animation. I just love that. And now I can just go activate Trias Hideracia and tribute my one monster. Special summon the... Yeah, okay, just cool. Well, that was absolutely amazing of a game as well. I mean, it was just really, really fun. Guys, try Solfachord. This deck is insane.